Alright girls, so going back through 13.13 and 14 in your textbooks on page 192. They're both samples of vinegar. What I will do is I'll do 13.13 your normal method, and I'll do 13.14 the new kind of unusual way that they sometimes ask it. Okay, so you've got ethanoic acid, which is CH3COOH, and you've got NaOH. And you're looking at your volumes, your molarity, and your number of moles. They're both 1 because the balanced chemical equation gives it so. According to the question, you had a 0.11 molar solution of this. This is the question mark. You had 25, let me see, 25 and 15.8. So it's 15.8 and 25 centimetres cubed here. And before I go any further, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made the last time. So the dilution factor is 20 centimetres cubed, and it was diluted to 100 centimetres cubed. So it's a by 5 dilution factor. Okay, and I'll keep that at the top of the page so don't forget it. Okay, so it's V1, M1, N1, so it's 15.8 M, and you can divide by 1, but it's not going to change it. 25 multiplied by 0.11. So I'm going to move the 15.8 over. So it's 25 multiplied by 0.11 and divided by 15.8. And the molarity then for this one is multiplied by 0.11 and 15.8. The molarity is 0.17, so 0.174 molar solution. Okay. That's the molarity of the diluted vinegar, and so to find the molarity of the original vinegar, we know that the original vinegar was by 5 times stronger, so it's 0.174 multiplied by 5. So 0.174 multiplied by 5, and that is 0.87 molar. And that's the answer to the first question, the molarity. It then asks you to change it to grams per litre. So 1 mole of CH3COOH is 60, and coming from the periodic table, so 0.87 molar is equal to 60 by 0.87. So you're multiplying that answer by 60, and you're getting 52.2 grams per litre. Okay, so that's 52.2 grams in 1,000 centimetres cubed. And you're asked then for percentage WV, so that's in 100 centimetres cubed you're looking for. Sorry, that should be centimetres cubed. So how did you go from here to here? You divide it by 10 and do the same on this side, and the answer is 5.22%. Okay, when the question's laid out like that, there really is no need for you to go to the new method. You would be crazy to try anything extra. If they ask it in the way that question asked it for the molarity of the original, it asked you for it in grams per litre, and it asked you for the percentage, then that's the best way to do it. But what happens then if they ask it in a more complicated way? So in the more complicated way, they would tell you, they would say find the number of moles of NaOH used. Okay, that's find the moles of NaOH. So you go to NaOH, and you know that you use 25 centimetres cubed of and the question says 0.09 molar. So your first job is to find out how many moles is in that. Okay, so you know you had 0.09 moles if you'd had a litre. You didn't have a litre, you only had 25 centimetres cubed. So you're going down, so it's going 0.09 divided by 1,000 and multiplied by 25. So it's 0.09 divided by 1,000 and it's multiplied by 25, and that's giving you 2.25 by 10 to the power of minus 3 moles. So that would answer the first question, how many moles in this? How many moles were of, the next question would be how many moles of CH3COOH were used in the reaction. So were used. And the answer to that question is it's a 1:1 ratio. So if I had 2.25 moles of one of them, I had 2.25 by 10 to the minus 3 moles of vinegar used in that experiment. Okay. It would then ask you to go to moles per litre. So it would say, can you find out what the molarity or what the concentration of this is? So it's asking you now for the concentration. It would probably say concentration of diluted vinegar and then say concentration of original vinegar. Okay. Method's not going to change. Either way, you're going to do both things anyway, so it won't make much of a difference to you. So that's 2.25 by 10 to the minus 3 moles in however much vinegar you used. So according to the question, you used 26.55 centimetres cubed. And I don't want it like that now. I want it in a litre. So you see, it's the same calculation that we were doing in examples 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that you're doing here again. And that's why they've switched to going away from the formula, because they realise that when you're using the formula, you don't realise you're doing the same math over and over again. You just think that's a special case that you do something special with. And in fact, it's not. It's just the ratio. Okay, it's just the same calculation again. So again, how do I go from here? So I divide by 26.55 and multiply by 1,000. So I divide by 26.55 and I multiply my answer by 1,000, and I find that out that I had 0.0847. 0.0847 moles per litre. And that's in the diluted vinegar. I need to then remind myself that in the original vinegar you had a by 10 dilution. So your dilution, again, that should have been at the top, 25 to 250. So that's a by 10 dilution. So that is your diluted vinegar. And now you think about your original vinegar, and your original vinegar is 0.0847 by 10 because it's 10 times stronger. So that's just 0.847 molar. And then you're converting that to grams per litre. So you're going 1 mole of your vinegar, your ethanoic acid, is 60 grams, and you had 0.847 moles. 0.847 by 60. So that's 50.82 grams. So you had 50.82 grams in a litre. And then if you want your percentage WV, you want it in 100 because it's a percentage, it's out of 100. So you divide by 10, divide by 10, and it's 5.082%. And that is the layout of the question if they want you to use this new method. And as I say, as we've seen in class the last couple of years, they have gone the new method. There's nothing to suggest to me that they're not going to keep going the new method. Can you use the old method? Yes. Can you get your V1, M1, M1? So what you can do is you can use the new method to here, and then just revert back to your V1, M1, N1, and just skip all of this bit, just do your normal calculation, you'll get the correct answers. As long as you get the correct answers, method, they haven't removed V1, M1, N1 off the course. It is written in the syllabus and there's nothing stopping you using it, but it doesn't flow as a question when you do. So that's why they're again looking for this. So again, another example, and I will do the same with example 21, 22, 23 and 24. I'll give you two. I'll do it V1, M1, N1. And for those of you who are struggling with V1, M1, N1, I'd suggest you just stick with it because you're going to end up getting yourself muddled if you try to come too far in here. But then again, I know that some of you are in a space where you're looking for H1s, H2s and H3s and have very good math skills. You might be better off taking a look at this. Okay, so that's the answers to those two, and I'll put a video up now with example 21 and assign you some work on that one. Okay, talk to you later.